Hey guys, I got a long night ahead of me. A lot of work to do. A lot of computer marketing and shit. But I want to get this word out there. So I got to do factory resets periodically. I'm going to call this one, hacked phones, hacked devices, malware, spyware, etc. If you really got all that shit, I'm not going to list all my methods, but let's be smart about having stuff saved all in one area. These perps are very insecure people. They want to know your passwords, your usernames, what you're purchasing. That's why all these companies, I look at what they did to certain people out there. I look at like what they did to McAfee and other people out there. I don't agree with all their worldly views, but I take bits and pieces of what I think is true, and you can tell they've targeted people with money. They've targeted most people to keep them broke and to traffic them. Trafficking is on the rise, I keep seeing these videos and like people saying they're burning down like homeless camps and they're doing this and that to homeless people. That's terrible, but it's also believable. Another thing I want to put out there is the malware, the spyware, the trackware. They want to know where you're at. They'll use air tags, sniffing, so they'll sniff your signal wirelessly from like a fake cell tower or piece of hardware and collect your signal and all the information, all the packets of information that are emitting from that transmission. They'll gather it from that frequency and basically look through your personal data illegally without a search warrant. That's called packet sniffing. That's highly illegal. You actually need the consent of the system admin, network operator, network administrator to do that. If you don't do that, you're committing an instant felony. So every time they do that, felony on top of felony on top of felony on top of felony, daily felonies, monthly felonies. But if I do it and they find out about it, and their cults find out about it, yeah, my ass is grass. They want to make me believe that because I've been set up for crimes. I'll be real. I've been set up for crimes I haven't even committed. And I'm just chilling right now. There's cameras all over in here. I'm not saying where I'm at or the address or anything like that, who I'm with. Not getting anyone's face on here is very key, very important. I get my face on here. I'm a good-looking guy. That's another reason probably the perpetrators probably hate on me. I'm a good-looking guy, pretty intelligent, pretty well-read, pretty educated. I know a lot about what's going on, so that, certain archetypes of people that they're trying to eliminate off the face of the earth. Because now I just want to notate this documentation. Today is October 23rd, 2025. I now have the features turned back on, actively and visibly showing on my phone, which are the flashlight, the certain icons, like your Bluetooth icon, your location icon from the top down swipe menu. I haven't been able to use that since the last time I factory reset my cell phone. It's been almost 2 or 3 months since I've been able to use my flashlight. And so a lot of times the malware, I don't even look at porn websites or anything like that. A lot of times the malware, they'll embed within apps and files. And faulty, I don't even go to shitty websites. I use VPNs. They can still get through it. I mean, they're still going to try to at least get through VPNs. Now, they can be greatly thrown off by what you can do. But when you've got so many people against one, they want you to believe that now you're outmanned, you're outmaneuvered. You might as well, I've had them told me that. You might as well just surrender. Might as well, like, one of them told me this. So I ranked my website. And I didn't know that this, you could have family members that are activated perps. I mean, they were perping the whole time. Maybe I was adopted, whatever. There's a big hard-on when you lap. I started lapping family members on successes, and they started getting jealous of me. They still are. They secretly, pretend like they want me to succeed, but they really, really don't. They don't want me to do better than they've done in life. They want me to just be kind of like, disability Mike, just get on disability, just, give up. it's kind of comical because when you look at me and you hear what I'm saying and you can see and understand what I'm talking about, I don't even seem like the type of guy to be disabled. You know, I'm in shape, athletic, I can run. After all the attacks and the near murders that these people try to, occasionally they will try to kill you if you're on the higher level. So I've had them occasionally try to murder me. They've hacked my phone. They've covertly drugged. The last girlfriend was a 100% guaranteed honeypot. And then now I just want to document. Now I have the capability of using my flashlight on my phone to, you know, look around dark little spots. That's another dead giveaway. Your phone is hacked. Certain features are turned off. Your phone's overheating. The screen is turning on by itself. Those are all signs that, you know, they've got eyes on you. They're watching you. They're watching your activity on the back end. Like I said, I want to get back into like the computer side of this stuff and really. I almost knew it too much at one point. I almost knew every little setting to every little code at one point. I started to get really mentally clear-headed because I had nothing else to do but work on my laptop or try to run command prompts or, you know, whatever. And then when I was really, really starting to get even better at it, I was doing it every day because practice makes perfect. I was doing it every day. I was trying to uncover, you know, who is doing this, and I was trying to track them cybernetically. And I'm still trying to. I just need to put in the real effort and do it fast, do it quick, get straight into it, and be as encrypted as possible while I attack and defend. You know, any entry points, or you know the ports. They log in on a port like port 51. Make sure port 51 is closed. Most of them are closed. The ones that are open are not open for the wrong reasons, so they can get in. This stuff is serious, guys. This is I think people. It's you know it floats around in different industries. Different people profit from. So big pharmaceutical profits from writing. So there's a few things they can do with this. They can write you off. They can destroy your credibility, get you on medication. You know. Just create a smear, and then they'll smear a smear campaign in there, which is where they destroy your reputation with brutal lies. They'll do that. They'll do the workplace harassment. They'll break into your house, disable your cameras, your online and offline cameras, break into your car, smash glass, maybe even smash some glass out of your vehicle to get a possession. They may not steal anything. They just want to send a message. We were here and we smashed your car, or we scratched it, or it could be very subtle but very obvious to you. Like I showed you a video a few weeks ago, what was happening on my car with the gas tank. So there was about a few weeks there. Every time I'd go out, new game they started playing was they'd flip my gas tank. And I noticed they were doing that. They've done this little trick for years to sensitize me. You better shut this. You know, we were here. Somebody was either physically or wirelessly there, and they fucking opened my gas tank to just let me know they left their mark, right? They left an imprint. So, like I said, now I have access to my upper bar thing. You can slide down on your phone and access your little like setting feature shit, your flashlight and all that shit. So now I can use that. I just ironically just factory reset my phone because I knew it was hacked. I knew there was malware on it without actually getting the screenshots of it. And that's the next move. These people are pretty good at what they do because I've set up certain software that they disable it when I try to capture frequencies or I try to capture traffic. There'll be something weird that happens with it, or I'll use Wireshark and try to capture packets, like anything traveling, any anomalies or weird phenomena that are happening on the network. It'll be like disrupted, you know. So it's really, really, they're trying to hide. And then I found out, if you guys don't know this, there's such thing that exists. It's probably not going to be accurate, but it's a FOIA request, FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, something like that. Freedom of Authorizing Information, something like that. You can look it up, FOIA request. And that basically requests if there's any surveillance or investigations on your behalf or someone that you know. And then the other one, which is bullshit, that goes along with that is they can take it a step further and give you a Glomar or a Gomar response, which is a neutral. They're not saying yes or no. A Glomar response request is where they don't give you anything. They say we can neither confirm or deny, nor deny that you are under investigation or on a watch list on an MK Ultra like, if it's not MK Ultra, MK Ultra look-alike, you know, trauma-based mind control program. Well, you know, when you say all this shit, people look at you like, really? You're not rich? Yeah, I'm not rich. What's there about you that they would want to waste, you know, thousands of dollars of gas to go fly helicopters and set up fake cell towers and cell site simulators to steal your radio frequency? It's not about always about money. It's about what you know. You know, if you possess sensitive information and you can awaken other people and you're awakened yourself, that's enough. That's a threat to the Matrix. And people don't believe me. They're like, oh yeah, the Matrix, sure, but no, this is really a Matrix. This is really the red pill versus the blue pill. And they're trying to silence any red pill, you know, people that are still standing for something. They've been trying to silence me for the past 2 decades. They've failed. They thought they had a perceived success over trying to dominate me and control, you know, no work over here, no work over there, affecting my finances, getting the crooked cops to put me in jail, hack my phone, you know, the cops stole my commissary. I mean, the police officers stole my commissary. They stole my shoes. I had Nike, those old black and white Nike flip-flops. They stole those and gave me some like shitty utility boots. And then they released me from jail. I said, can I make a phone call? They said no. I had to walk through the rain for miles and miles and miles from like, I don't know how many blocks, from all the way from downtown to where I lived at the time. The girl was having a manic, crazed episode and said she didn't hear the phone call ringing. And my phone was dead. So, you really factor all that in, and then you factor in gaslighting and directed conversations and strange spasms on my back, like I'm being shot with a concentrated, what it feels like a concentrated, you know, wireless beam that's just nailing my shoulder blade. And people think I'm crazy. They think V2K, you know, Voice to Skull is crazy. You must be schizophrenic, but I've never heard voices in my life, never. I've only experienced, you know, what you guys say about the street theater and some of that shit. I've experienced pretty much all of it, but it's not happening always all the time. You know, they'll let you know when you're experiencing it. They'll be obvious about it, and then they will leave you alone at times so that it can kind of the flame can die out. It's not so clear to everyone that you're being hunted down and trapped and cornered. And they'll use seasons again to their advantage. They'll use, you know, whatever services you offer. So if one service slows down, you got to offer more or whatever. That's fine. That's part of what I do. I went into that knowing that this was going to be a part of that equation. Certain days have been unusually tired. I know you guys talk about either frequencies or covert druggings. I've been covertly drugged. I don't know how many times, but more than a few. Handfuls of times where by this time every day I seem to get tired, but I'm not usually a person that's tired. I'm usually a person that works out about every other day and goes for runs. And now I'm all of a sudden I'm tired at 3 or 4 p.m., but I did wake up at 5 to 7 a.m. I'm already beat. I feel like I could sleep 2 to 3 hours or go to bed the rest of the night. No, absolutely not. I have to stay up and get shit done. I don't have time to be a sleeper. I got time to make up for lost time that's been wasted, resalvage my freedom, and live unapologetically without regrets. Because at this point, I don't owe anyone even a flicker of doubt, a flicker of disrespect. If they really any respect, if they're disrespecting, I'll just leave. I'll just be gone from any situation. I don't care if they're the president. I don't care, you know, what their position is, how powerful they are. If it's a bad situation, that's a thing. They chase targeted individuals until they're cornered, until they really have either no money left, or, you know, they're just scraping by to make what they have, make ends meet. But I feel like I feel like maybe if I was in a different town and I had a lawsuit out right now, I might be doing a little bit better. Like if I was in Florida right now or I was in like the Carolinas doing what I'm doing, I'd be making probably a lot more money later in the year. And we're going to see, doing these other services, what's going to happen. But I know I can pick it up because I've picked up every other service that I've taught myself. By the way, another thing I've noticed in my targeting is I've been my own master. I've been my own trainer, my own master, my own mentor, my own apprentice. I've apprenticed underneath myself. I've been my own attorney, my own vehicle mechanic at times. I've had to learn things about, just everything. Nobody's been there, I guess, that's the message, if you're going to learn anything, you're going to teach yourself. Nobody's going to teach you. I guess that's secretly could be the best weapon. Just teach yourself everything you're self-taught. So it's a lot like just being kind of thrown into a situation. And sometimes my customers would be like, man, you're the expert. And I'm like, now I am, I have to be. And I am on a lot of shit, but I'm just going to become the expert because if I don't, then somebody else is going to be the better expert, the better specialist, and they're going to win more jobs. There's no going back to the basic Bob world, And not only that, I just have to protect all my shit. And I just thought I'd let you guys know. Documentation, recent update again with malware installed on my phone. It was running real slow. It was I couldn't use my flashlight. I couldn't pull the top sidebar down, scroll bar. It's really clear, when your phone's hacked. I have electric tape on my front. I would recommend on your front camera, maybe even both cameras, front and back, putting electric tape. Snowden recommended that because every minute or a few minutes, they take like a slew of automated pictures from the front of your phone. And if you turn it off and you put a black light up next to it, you're going to see the reflection of the light bouncing off the black light on the screen. So you're gonna see it. It's not really a mystery. You either know or you don't know. But that's why I have the electric tape on the front of my phone and on my laptop. These people are invading our privacy. I'm subjected. I should be owed money, and I know a lot of people talk about targeted individuals. They file lawsuits. They either throw them out, discard them, or they kill the targeted individual. So if I open this lawsuit and this channel disappears, you'll know what happened. You'll know they took me out because I refused to shut the hell up. I'm going to be their biggest problem. And hopefully, this channel, what I can do with the evidence I have unraveled, ethically and unethically, put the proof out there in the format that would need to be what they call a case of merit, a meritable case. And a case with merit means it's a case it's put in the right context, put in the right format, and the right file type, and condensed to where they don't need all the information. They don't probably even need all the proof. They need enough proof and enough information put in the right format and the right types of file, like PDF file. And then that's what a case with merit is. So that's why I'm a pro se attorney right now too. I'm not going to keep going on in this video. You guys be safe out there. We got to start networking, guys. I mean, I know it's dangerous, but if we all work together, we're honestly way more dangerous it takes less of us to be more dangerous than all of them. We are more dangerous than we know. We are more awakened. You guys are more awakened than you know. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting targeted by a system. The whole, big parts of the system. Major industries worried about your moves. That should be a compliment to your what your trajectory, to where you're headed. That should really be a compliment indirectly, saying we're worried about if we leave this guy alone, how much money they're going to make, or what are their moves? Are they going to hack us? And that's why they always got to keep you in a state of confusion, isolation. Keep a solitude, because they can keep you confused, destitute, and broke they can really control your life. They can control, if you get kicked out of college or not. I've had it happen. I won't even go back to college. It's a scam. If you're on the watch list like I am, you're not going to get a college degree. They're going to find a way to either steal it, discredit you. The narcissists are going to try to find a way to discredit you, take credit for something that you've done. Or I've heard of stories like that. Taking your name off your birth certificate and putting their name on it type shit. They're crazy. They stole my birth certificate too. They stole my multiple times. They stole my original, and then they even tried to steal the copy. And they stole the social, and then they stole my wallet a few times. This is while I was asleep, and then when I was with the chick, the final blow that they had with the police, and I didn't see all this coming. The last thing I'm gonna say is, it sneaks up on you before you know what the fuck is going on. It's real subtle. You have something go miss here, something go missing there. And then before you know, you got thousands, hundreds, then you got a couple $1,000s worth of shit that's missing or damaged. But then they got you over here. Now they want to allow you to work. So now you're scrambling, how am I going to make money? Well, now I got to make money differently. And now I've gone through so many W-2s, I can't go through them. That's a source I can't rely on or depend on. So that door is closed. So then you got to pivot and maneuver and adjust and kind of morph your way into these other little areas. And that's what I've done. And like I said, the notary business got shut down by Kristen Naval, which I'm not worried about name dropping on some of these people, man. They're not more dangerous. I don't feel like as if they're more dangerous than I am. Maybe they used to be, but I know I'm more dangerous now. And living out anywhere, out of my car, tent, hotel, it doesn't matter where I live. But what I want to say is they had triangulated me with the family, the girlfriend, police, and environment. So she stole the stamp and wouldn't answer my calls. I didn't have money to replace it. I finally just said, fuck it. And I would have people behind me in traffic. I'd be on my way to a client's house. I'd have people in traffic honking at me, behind me, frustrated, like Karens, like real Karens, looking like they're pissed off that I'm about to go make some real money or some shit. And it took me years to build that thing up. And they finally just tried to get me out of that, make it like a struggle for me. These crazy people, these insane people. They really did try to take me out of my business, take my life away from me, hijack my freedom. Money's freedom. It equates evenly. So then I just said, fuck it. Now I'm in a different industry. With that, guys, I'm going to get going. More technology issues. It's hard not to think about or talk about this shit because everybody I used to know fell off. I used to hang out with a group of people, but everybody I knew, the more awakened I got, started to think that I knew too much, or they were either contacted, and that's how I know that people were paid off. That's how I know that people were bribed. I mean, these were day one people that I would have never thought would have turned on me. That they all turned on me, but they were really always that person. I just had outgrown them as a TI. I just had evolved and evolved and evolved, layered beyond layer and layer. Became more depthy, and that they stayed the same. They're the same people since high school. They never evolved. They never really tried to shoot for the stars. They just got a basic Bob job, stayed in their lane. They're not posing any threat, and they're not posing any threat. They're just being basic Bob. Basic Bob is as basic Bob does. So. That's why, now they have no control over how much money I make. No matter how much they think they do, they have zero control over that. With that, I am going to get going. Goodbye. Stay safe. If your situation is bad, get guns, get knives, get security systems, whatever it takes.